Hot Mess with Alix Earle. Have you ever heard of that?
No, is that a comedian?
No, this is just some hot piece of ass.
Okay.
So I went on a deep dive because Julie's like, it's right near the top. I started watching it, and she's like, you guys and Carl just need to review this because it's one of the worst podcasts she's ever heard in her life. And she started playing some of it, and I wanted to throw her phone out into the yard.
Okay, Mark, did this land in New and Noteworthy? Is that how she found it?
I think so, yeah. It's called Hot Mess with Alix Earle. And I'm like, I've never even heard of this person. Both of us agree that we're just giving up. We're too old to know who any of these people are.
I'm starting to feel that way.
But she is an American media personality, and she is known as TikTok's It Girl, apparently. She's made a shitload of money on TikTok. And so I'm listening to this podcast, and she's talking about she's dating an NFL player, but she doesn't say his name.
Oh, how obnoxious.
And they both went to the University of Miami. And I'm like, University of Miami, that's a very expensive school, private school, actually pretty good educational school. I'm like, she must come from a lot of money. So I started looking it up. Her dad is this big time construction magnate in New Jersey who, obviously has a lot of money and has since remarried Ashley Dupree. Do you remember who Ashley Dupree is?
Sounds familiar.
That was the prostitute that took out Elliot Spitzer.
Oh, okay.
So this Alix Earle, who's the TikTok It Girl and doing this podcast, her stepmom is the whore that took down the governor of New York. It's crazy. And so because of that and because she's hot, she has all this money on TikTok, and now she's doing a podcast, and it is so fucking bad. Do you want to see a little bit of this idiot?
Yeah, I love watching shitty podcasts.
And it's just, she's smoking hot, first of all. I mean, you can see her there doing all her TikToks.
If you're hot, it's like the world just throws money at you now. Isn't it just?
I know, it's great. I love
I
it.
don't even know where to begin with sorority recruitment.
Okay, let me just set this up. She already doesn't know where to begin with sorority recruitment. She's sitting on a bed with a handheld mic, box of Cheez-Its laying around. I mean, it's just so half-assed.
She's not that hot.
Oh, she's pretty hot. You don't think she's hot?
Who's going through recruitment, or to anyone who's gone through it, you know what I'm talking about. You feel like this is the most stressful days of your entire life. And let me tell you, it's not that deep.
What?
I promise. So I'm going to take you back. We're back at my freshman year of college at the University of Miami.
College.
And we rush second semester. So this is a few months into school.
So who's watching this going, I've got to hear this story.
I can't imagine.
I'm already kind of...
What?
Does it have a lot of audience?
Well, I think so. Once again, it was on New and Noteworthy. Okay, so this was posted.
So it will have a lot of audience, and then if it's worth a shit, it will keep the audience. If it's not worth a shit, it will not keep the audience, which is pretty normal for New and Noteworthy, in my opinion.
Slut.
This was posted 3 days ago. It already has 334,000 views. So
have your friends, people.
Some people are interested in hearing about her sorority rush.
For this.
Is this on
we
YouTube?
go home for winter break. We come back, and it is rush week. All the girls come back to school, and you kind of get this set schedule. It's like 4 or 5 days. I don't really remember. And I'm stressing out about what to wear. Me and my friends are texting in the group chat. We're sending different pictures of dresses.
How relatable.
Like, my outfits have to be perfect or they're not going to like me. We're sitting in our dorms. We're getting ready for the first day. At our school, there's 2 sororities that were kind of seemed to be the cool ones, or that's what I thought and that's what I was told. So I had a cousin that went to the University of Miami as well. She was in the grade above me, and she was in the one sorority that was the coolest thing in the entire world.
The grade above me.
So I'm like, my cousin's in the sorority.
For all the editing, she should have edited more.
You know, what can go that wrong? I slip on my outfit for the first day of recruitment. I think I'm wearing like skin tight jeans. You get a rush shirt
We're
for the
looking
first
at the
day,
picture of you, what you were
they
wearing.
put you into these groups. So you're with a group of like 10 other girls. I don't remember exactly, but it feels like camp.
It literally
feels like hell camp, honestly. The house that I had first was the house that I really wanted to be in. I remember going in for my first conversation. And it's ridiculous thinking back how scared I was, but I think I blanked out. Like, I was going in and out of consciousness. I was like, I feel woozy right now. I don't even know what this girl's saying to me. And part of this is to do with my anxiety, but we were watching the sorority recruitment video that they were playing for us in there, and we were standing up, and I was like, I'm gonna I'm gonna faint right now. I don't feel good. I literally could not speak. Like, this was the scariest thing ever. Then we're going through rounds and rounds, and it's awkward conversations with girls.
The edits make it sound like she
like
never breathes.
Small talk.
It sounds like a gang of rapists just came after her.
What does the sorority do, and what do they like, and what do you like? And you are talking all day throughout all 5 days of this recruitment process. So after each day of rush, you go through and you rank the houses from what you liked best to what you liked least.
Honestly, 90% of the story could have been cut.
The second day of rush comes by, I open my card, I had the houses I wanted back, and I think that was a pretty normal day for me. Then this is kind of where the real cuts start to happen. We come back for the third day. I open my card, I'm expecting to see the houses I like back, and the one that I wanted the most, the one that my friends wanted the most, and the one that my cousin was in had dropped me. And honestly, I got a little bit of a pit in my stomach. I'm going through every possibility in my head. I'm like, what could have gone wrong? Was this a glitch in the system? Like, this had to be a mess up. Like, I don't understand how I could have been dropped. Because
how could I have been dropped?
I thought that as long as I had a family member in there with the last name, I kind of thought it was like, unless you do something.
It's been that way since I was born.
Drew, you're right. She has been handed everything her whole life, so this is blowing her mind.
Don't you know who my dad is?
We're 4 minutes in. I bet you if I jump forward to about 4 more minutes, she's telling the same story.
I can't believe I didn't get what I wanted.
Make me feel weird for being upset. She was like, listen, I know that you think the other two are the coolest sororities. I know that that's what everyone says. I know that's what has gone on. And she was like, trust me, we still party. We still have fun. Like, we still have a social life. And she started telling me
not the cool
all these fun stories that she
but what are you guys majoring in
the
trying
sorority.
To sell
and then her friend came
sorority.
over, and the two of them started talking to me. I'll never forget this because
You're an idiot.
I never felt so genuinely cared about in the moment. And
unlike what my
they made me feel better. They were like, listen, it's not the end of the world.
Unlike when my parents buy me everything I want.
Julie was telling me in the one episode she was listening to, she's like, my family, we're not like a normal family. We go out to titty bars. It's like, oh, yeah, well, you're dead married.
Yeah, they buy me everything I want. I want that Porsche. Oh, it's yours.
They were kind of insinuating that they had went through the same thing that I did. So I go home from the last day of rush. The next day's bid day, where everyone opens the card. That's where
that they're putting on top.
You see what house you're in, and then you go and run and
jumping up and down.
Young hot girls
celebrate.
super excited about.
I didn't want to do any of those things, but after talking to these two girls, I was like, you know what? I'm just going to stick it out. I'm going to go with this house.
Well, they cared for her more than anyone's ever cared for her.
They say they had a good time. I'm just going to try it out. The next day comes around. It's bid day. We go up.
She's still talking. That's 9.5 minutes in.
Wait, I want to hear more.
On this big open field, and everyone opens their cards. I got the house where I was talking to the two girls
who care about you more than anyone
were very nice
ever.
to me, and
even your parents.
I was okay with it. I was still upset, of course. And I just remember seeing all my friends running and jumping together, and bid day's fun. They have like pretty cool themes, and
but those people cared about her more than anyone ever.
They just have such cool
nice
themes.
turning your back on them.
They're such cool girls. Like, I'm such a loser over here. I did not have a great bid day.
What about the two girls that cared about you more than anyone ever?
Gets their card, meets their group. You kind of line up on this little stage area on the stairs.
Pile of elitism this is.
Yeah.
Well, Lottie frickin' da!
For all the money she has, can she buy a nightstand to put that lamp on?
And the Cheetos?
Well, I think the Cheetos is product placement. I really think that's a sponsorship.
Cheez-Its, yeah.
Cheez-Its, yeah. But see the lamp that's just sitting on the ground?
Yes.
Can you put that on a table, please?
I know, you get everything you want.
Watch. They all sit there. They see who the new sorority girls are.
And then table?
And I was so embarrassed to not be running out with
one on the left.
one of these two cool sororities. Which is so stupid. If you're listening to this, don't feel the way that I felt. We're going to get to that part. But I was crying. I was talking to my parents. They also didn't understand what had happened. I was beating myself up.
Oh, that's so cool.
And
now she's happy. There she is happy. Oh,
if
now
you're
she's
doing
sad
that
again
too,
in this picture.
Ooh, she's an ugly crier, I got to say.
But I'm here to tell you that I promise it gets better and everything.
The it gets better movement has moved on.
Yeah, the loser girls are nicer than you think.
Just because you're a hot chick, you don't get everything 100% of the time. It gets better. If you get turned down once, you'll probably get the next 3,000 things you want.
Your dad can make up for it with his money. I mean, there's a lot of ways that they can kind of fix it.
Let's scrub forward and see what this idiot's talking. Oh, she's got a friend. Here we go.
Oh, cool.
Because that's when the magic really starts happening.
You had
Awesome.
been here with me for it, and
Hey, look, she wanted an
I
end
think
table.
she's seen a little bit of behind the scenes. Come on, Natalie.
She wanted shelves, too.
Oh, you know what? I think she's gonna. Oh boy, here's Natalie.
Anus.
She just
So
piled on the
Natalie
bed. She just
is
jumped on the microphone.
one of my best friends from college. We met freshman year, and I lived with her my senior year.
She's
of
also
college.
hot.
And junior year.
And
She needs a
junior
nose
year,
job.
and sophomore year.
Hot girls
But she
stick
moved
together,
to New
don't they?
York.
Here I am, guys. So when
In the
Alex
one
is just-
episode Julie and I were listening to, it was her and her friends, and they had so many inside jokes that made no sense to anybody who was listening, and they would just laugh about it. It's like, but we don't know what you're talking about. I imagine
explain it all.
it's going to be the same way with this woman.
Spend all my time with her.
So Natalie's working in the city. She's commuting right now.
Yes, from Westchester. It's not very fun.
We're
She has
opening
a
an
very
OnlyFans
big girl
together.
job.
I'm a corporate girly, so
She works at a bank. So she's been with me throughout this past week, and you've come to some Fashion Week stuff with me.
Oh,
some
cool.
parties.
Tell us
Yeah.
about that.
I feel like I always see it as
No one
such
gives
like
a
a
shit.
glamorous thing, and I haven't experienced that many things with Alex. Like
334,000
like
people
behind
watch this?
closed doors,
I
but
guess she's a big deal, man.
Amazing.
it like it's not very fun. It's more.
Everything looks better.
That's the worst
online.
edit I've ever
This is
seen in my life.
first
I'm not kidding.
Fashion Week, and I've always seen it as this big glamorous thing. There's these after parties.
Do hot chicks
you're
relate to
getting
this?
dressed.
Is that who this 334,000
It
people are?
must be aimed at other.
Other
Girls
hot
trying to
chicks
get
who are
in.
really privileged, who are
Girls
from
who want
money?
to rush.
I need
Yeah,
to
because it looks like she does a beauty regimen there at the end.
but
And,
I have to talk to them
okay.
because
I mean, this is just a woman that wants to keep talking and talking.
Yeah, I think you're right.
talking.
I'm amazed at how comfortable she is just yapping, just saying nothing for minutes and minutes and minutes and minutes.
Everything on. I mean, she's a huge TikTok star, right? So everything she shares, everything.
Oh, I forgot she's a TikTok star. Okay, that explains the 334,000
Yeah.
people.
Oh, yeah.
Although I've seen it where this has happened with guys who are TikTok stars and skating stars, and all these areas that guys excel in and draw these big audiences. And then they do a podcast, and they find out that everyone doesn't come to the podcast. That's kind of weird.
Yeah.
Or they come over and they go, "Wait, but I was only interested in you skating because you're really good at skating. But when you're talking, I don't like you anymore."
Oh my God.
Because there was this one podcast I was listening to. I was very intrigued because this guy had a big background. I think it was I'm pretty sure it was a skater. He started a podcast, and it leaped into the rankings. And I was like, what's that show? Because I'd just never seen it before. And so I looked into it. I started listening to it. I'm like, oh, this is some really young guy who is a superstar skater. And he started a podcast, and while he's doing the podcast, he was explaining that, and my friend Brandon's going to be on the show too, because like normally I treat Brandon to everything. I take him all over the world and stuff because I have all this money, but I want him to be a millionaire too.
Hell yeah.
What?
So he thought if he included this guy in the podcast, then they could both be millionaires.
Is he good?
No, it was a terrible podcast, and in fact, it died. This guy had this phenomenal following, but he was not a good podcaster.
So what's
at
Brandon?
all.
What's Brandon doing for him now?
He's probably flying all around the world on this guy's dime.
Yeah.
Look at this.
Be my guess.
Look at this still shot from.
It was a really cute idea, though, that I'm going to make my friend a millionaire too. Isn't that cool? Aren't I a giving person?
Here's a still shot of Hot Mess with that Alix Earle chick. This is the episode with her 4 best friends. Tell me if you would have any interest in watching these 4 very attractive young women drinking wine, talking about their problems.
5 women.
Jesus
Or 5 women, yeah, 4 others
Christ.
plus her, yeah.
3 of them are
Those
not.
idiots.
3 of them are not all that attractive, to be honest. But
Oh, one.
2, 3.
Well, that's the French that are,
fine.
right?
Can I hear just a smidgen of this?
Thought you'd never ask.
Do they have to be in bed all the
Everyone
time?
back
Yeah,
at
so you
their
can think
first
about
week
them
of college
fucking.
right now, and we're having a little bit of post-grad depression. So I figured, why not? Just a little. I figured, why not reminisce on those core awkward memories of the first week of freshman year and the fun memories.
You're the only one that I talked to before coming to school. I had never even seen you guys before. And then I remember being at the Biltmore pool, and you're like, "Do you know this Hannah Knight? I think I'm getting drinks with her later." And I was like, "No, oh my gosh, she looks so cool." And I was so scared. And
How
I met you guys
relatable.
for the first time at the pregame. The first night that we went out. Yeah.
Making friends with people freshman year can be super awkward, and you have to it's like dating. You have to reach out.
It is.
Speed dating. So we're gonna read you some.
The girl on the left,
Mike.
It's the girl on the left, and
Put the fucking mic up to your mouth, bitch.
That's the other thing. There's 5 of them. They have 3 mics. They have to keep handing it off, but this idiot doesn't know you're supposed to talk into the microphone. But not only that, she's also on her phone while she's doing it. You notice that?
Yeah, she's paying no attention to where the microphone is.
2 of them are on their phone while the show is going on.
Our DMs that we've sent each other that we look back and laugh at now, but oh god.
This is March 3rd, 2019. Oh, I'm scared.
This is gonna be so Kristen.
Hey girl, you're so gorgeous and I'm obsessed with your pics. I saw that you're going to Miami and I'm trying to meet people going, so I wanted to say hey. I got deferred for some reason.
That is so Kristen.
I got what?
But
Third.
for some reason, no idea why. I got deferred for some reason, Frown. But I'm praying I get in, because if I do, then I'm deaf going. It's by far my favorite. You did not ask. It's by far my favorite, and it would be literally insane to live there. I definitely want to find some friends to enjoy it with.
Deaf.
Smile. I'd love to get to know ya, so feel free to add me on Snap or anything.
Really normal.
Why? Why was my friend?
Can you keep track of the views the show continues to get?
Don't worry, my friend got deferred too.
desperately
As if I'm
curious.
so fucking scholarly.
No! Stop it!
Oh my god.
I know, it's true. It's
I would
so
think.
worse.
I would almost think that would be
way
really
worse.
limited to friends of that girl.
But no, you
Very few, because it's not terribly relatable at all.
didn't think that text was so Kristen?